Making this live also. Mhm. So, mm, welcome everyone. Making this live also.
नमस्ते कनक जी।
Namaste, namaste everyone. And
नमस्ते कनक जी।
so, friends, today is again a very important session of our series, uh, where we are talking about client centric and how we can become more and more aligned with our business and get a little more closer with our client. The theme of growth continues, and today we have with us our very special volatility coach from Chennai, Mr. Sridharan Sundaram, who has been very, very instrumental in so many things. I think starting one of the largest distribution company in India, and then creating a huge network, and then being a part of that, and again then starting his own venture, and there also I think last when we were discussing it was 250 crores. Now I think it must have gone up also. That also managing a team. But I think more than anything else, with the corporate world, and then again coming back to this, I think the one most important thing is like, how you can actually uh, become more and more customer centric. And I think from there, the topic of today's session, which is the four P's of wealth management. Okay. So all AMCs keep talking about no product, positioning, pricing, and what I think keep talking about three P's. But I think today it will be more interesting from a mutual fund distributor's point of view. What are these four P of wealth management? How this can give a client a better customer experience. So looking forward to learn from you. Welcome, Sridhar Sundaram, and welcome everyone, all our participants. Looking forward to learn today. Thank you so much. Over to
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you, Connect. So thank you for a brief introduction. So I'll just start with the presentation. So as Connect said, I work with uh, the mutual fund company initially. This is Quantum, and then I moved on to a distribution company, which was Funds India, and then I worked there for 5 years, and then I have totally 20 years of experience in the industry. And this venture actually started in 2016. So this is almost like we are going to start our 10th year from this September. So what we have done to our clients and what practices that we do for our client is what actually we are going to brief here. So predominantly, we focus on mutual fund distribution, but actually, these four P's of wealth management, these are the four P's that we are going to talk about. One is actually the portfolio strategies, and then planning approaches, and then professional client handling and practice growth. So these are the four P's actually, that we follow in our business. So we will explain you what each, piece are all about. So when it is coming to portfolio strategies, so we bucket the client into four different categories. One is actually, we always follow an asset allocation practice. And out of the asset allocation practice, these are the four, the asset allocation models that we practice to our clients. So one is the strategic asset allocation where, the long-term disciplined approach, which will help the client to meet their financial goals. And second is actually, there are clients who wanted to, we basically kind of, both in terms of strategic and the kind of dynamic allocation. For them, actually, we go with the model called core and satellite allocation. So where predominantly, we focus on core and part of the portfolio can be in the strategic asset allocation. And then the tactical asset allocation is something that we follow, which is basically, which will focus on moving from debt to equity, equity to debt based on various, the macro level indicators. And then the insured allocation. This is basically, something which we follow. Basically, this is a conservative approach where we used to have this target maturity, or there is something called the fixed maturity. There is something called the where they just allocate 80% of the portfolio into debt or 70% into debt, and then that will become 100 rupees after 3 years or 5 years. So this actually we follow in our model basically through the the mutual fund approach itself. We will explain you about this later. Let us see one after the other. So when it is coming to strategic asset allocation, we sit with the client and then understand their risk profile and understand their financial goals, and then we basically bucket the asset allocation into three categories. One is equity, debt, and then gold. And depends on the risk appetite and the time horizon, we basically help them in terms of providing this equity, debt, and gold allocation, and then we just rebalance it on periodical basis. But more here, the long-term wealth creation requires a kind of discipline where we will not do very frequent, the rebalancing of the assets. Maybe depends on on an annual basis, or maybe once in 2 years, depends on the the asset prices. If it is skewed towards a single particular asset, then we will be moving on from equity to debt or debt to equity. Depends on the market situation. But predominantly here, we don't do the rebalancing very frequently. So here the focus is their goals are the focus. So that is where actually we follow this model. And the second model is basically a core and satellite model where 70 to 80% of the portfolio in the core strategy. Basically, assuming there are clients where they have assets which are actually, which are basically more than their goals. Let us say, they have 100 rupees, and then 80% of the 80% of their assets, which will probably help them meeting their financial goals. Then the balance 20% can be looked at investing in satellite allocation. The satellite allocation, which will basically focus on short-term market movements, like the sector funds or global funds or thematic funds. So basically, when we are talking about the core portfolio consists of complete diversified equity, and then your large cap, and then the debt instrument. This is what the core portfolio consists of, which will help them in meeting their long-term financial goals. So when we are talking about the extra alpha that can be created through the satellite approach, where 20 to 30% of the allocation will be given to the the sector funds or REITs or whatever they are talking about, the new businesses that we are talking about, will all get into the satellite investment concept. So here actually the key benefit is the satellite will provide you the alpha, wherein the core portfolio will help you meeting the financial goals. So here actually, the clients are meeting both the needs in terms of they're hungry towards the short-term requirement, short-term benefits, and then the long-term requirement, which is basically a goal-based portfolio, which they will be able to take the right decision in terms of the investments. Then we are talking about the tactical asset allocation, where here actually, there could be the active management that is required. So here actually, we will be recommending them to get along with the tactical allocation. Depends on the macro indicators, depend on depends on the market outlook and the valuation signals, we will be keep moving from equity to debt and debt to equity, or sometimes, we will allocate more fund towards gold. So depends on various parameter. Actually, we will be recommending them to move from equity to debt and other things. But here, the key disadvantage in this model, basically, they'll have to shell out more of a taxes, and then, the entry, the exit loads. These are something, if they are willing to take up all these things, then probably, this model will work for the client. Wherein here actually, it requires a frequent portfolio changes, but the same thing can also be, done through balance advantage and multi-asset allocation funds, where if they don't want to take a risk on the taxation and the this one, what do you call, the exit loads and all those stuff. So if they wanted to minimize their charges, then probably, they can get this done through the balance advantage and multi-asset allocation funds. So if they are ready to, ready to go with the cost, then probably, we will ask them to go with the tactical asset allocation model. Then the last one is basically the insured asset allocation model. So here there are conservative investors where they wanted to, basically preserve their capital, even though, they are talking about 3 years or 5 years. So this actually, the insured asset allocation model is something, that would help in terms of meeting the financial goals. So here, assuming if somebody, with the age of 55, they wanted to invest 1 crore and they wanted a guaranteed, principal return after 5 years. So in this case, we will allocate 60 lakhs of their portfolio into fixed income that generates 8% annually. So that, this automatically, your 60 lakhs will become 1 crore plus, after, let us say 5 years. Then the balance 40 lakhs will be invested in the equity, so which will fluctuate. But at the end of the day, what we are guaranteeing to the investor is actually getting their 1 crore, whatever the capital that they are investing, either 3-year basis or a 5-year basis, whatever it is. So based on that, we ensure that they get 1 crore after 3 years or 5 years. The balance amount is what actually, depends on the investor risk appetite and other things. We will probably invest in a hybrid funds, or maybe, we will do with the hybrid funds or a large cap funds, because, he is not ready to take so much of risk. So we will be helping them doing this. So this model is basically, is helping in terms of basically, reduces the behavioral risk. When the market is down by 10%, 20%, still actually they need not have to be very panic in terms of selling their assets. One. Second is, when we are dealing with doctors, predominantly, when I am dealing with doctors are all, very, very conservative investors. They always, wanted to deal with cash, not with investments. Even they wanted to keep money in their, not even in the bank account, they wanted to keep money in their locker or in the bureau. So for them, slowly we can introduce this model to ensure that, they will get some confidence in terms of investing into the equity market. And then, slow and steadily we can increase their risk appetite. So this asset allocation, this insured asset allocation model doesn't mean that, it works only with 55 years of age. It can work with any investor who are with the very conservative thought process. So this is the key, the portfolio strategy and the allocation strategy comparison. So when we are talking about strategic allocation, so passive nature is actually the nature of this one is very passive. It does not require, very frequent now and then changes in the asset allocation. Risk level is moderate and flexibility is very low. And this is used for long-term wealth creation. When we are talking about core and satellite model, this is a hybrid model. This is neither strategic allocation nor tactical allocation, wherein here the clients are able to get a little higher alpha compared to a strategic allocation because of we have a the tactical portion of it will be there in the satellite allocation. So basically, here the model is very hybrid and it is balanced in nature and the flexibility is medium, and this is good for balanced investors who doesn't want to neither take too much of risk, and other way around is basically they don't want to be very passive in their investments. So then the third model is tactical. Basically, this would work for clients with experience and then who wanted to be very active in terms of their investments. So they wanted to every now and then, if they wanted to change their asset allocation based on the market condition, for them actually tactical allocation model will work. And then the insured allocation is very, very active model. But again, this is actually the risk level is moderate, flexibility is very high, and it is actually ideal for the very, very conservative investors or new to investments into the equity market. Is something where we can use the insured asset allocation model. Any question here? I'll keep the question at the end.
If there is a question, please do ask. Otherwise, there is one poll which has come up based on the strategies.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes.
You can actually give a poll suggestion to yourself. But what is your preference? And you can ask the question, and Sridharanji, please answer.
Yeah. So the question is, we regularly get clients who are interested in regular cash flows with not too much of variance in that. So how do you fix those clients, and what kind of strategy would you put them?
So if they wanted a regular cash flow, then probably it is better to go with the this one, what you call the insured asset allocation model. Or maybe you can go with the you can go with the strategic asset allocation model. You can do with hybrid funds with equity allocation, let's say about 65%, 35%, and then dynamic asset allocation funds, where you can start doing the withdrawal of 8% annually. 8% SWP annually, which can be given on a quarterly basis or a half-yearly basis, depends on the clients. Actually, you can go with the strategic asset allocation model where it does not require any kind of changes.
So, sir, this 8% that we're talking is on the complete AUM of the client?
Complete AUM of the client.
And 60 here is in the equity, and 40 is probably 60 to 65 is in equity.
40, yeah, 60 to 65 is in equity and 35 in debt. Over a 5-year period, there are lots and lots of, the examples and the experiences, the client experiences. They have definitely, got about 8% withdrawals. On top of it, there was capital appreciation also.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So next is,
Mr. Sridharan, I hope you can see the poll results. We are just ending it. So probably a lot of, this is what people are thinking.
Correct.
You were talking about all this, so I just created a poll out of it. So most of us prefer strategic asset allocation.
Yes.
Insured allocation is the last preference.
Insured asset allocation is actually, very precise. It is new to the, there's conceptually, overall little bit of experience in terms of earlier, the target maturity plan and all those stuff used to be there. Okay. And then I forgot the name of the category. So there used to be
capital guaranteed funds.
Capital guaranteed, yes. Capital guaranteed plans, which were there earlier. Nowadays, actually, they don't have any capital guarantee plan. So I just copy that model. And then I used to work with my clients.
There is one very conservative. Mr. Girish Chopra.
Yeah.
Sorry, I joined late. Can you just explain the strategic allocation again? That's all.
So strategic allocation is basically, it used to help the needs of the clients over a long-term goals. So here actually, we just decide based on the goals. We decide the asset allocation. It will be between equity, debt, and gold. We just design the asset allocation, invest, and then rebalance on a periodic basis. That's the only thing. 1 second. So that is
What
the
is
strategy.
the funds that are like on a periodic basis? If somebody wants a payout on a month-to-month basis, what is the kind of sector? What kind of funds are you suggesting for the equity part of it in the debt?
No, I could not get your question.
My question is that if somebody wants a periodic payout
Right.
on a month-to-month basis, what is the kind of funds you're suggesting
See, basically,
in the equity and the debt?
Yeah. See, basically, if they need a periodic payment, it is always better to go with a hybrid strategy. So basically, either dynamic asset allocation funds or hybrid equity funds, and then equity saver. These are the three funds. Equity savings fund. These are the three funds one can go, and then they can start doing a systematic withdrawal of 2% on a quarterly basis.
So this insured
Thank-
allocation is similar to the fixed maturity plan, right?
This is similar like a fixed maturity plan. Yes.
Yeah.
Any other question? And we can move on to the next P.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the next P is basically planning approach. So when a client comes to you, they will always, talk about what returns I get, which product you recommend. So, but before that, we need to identify two things. One is actually whether they are interested in the goal-based planning or investment planning. I'm also a SEBI registered investment advisor. I have two different firms, and then two different the entity, and then we do both goal-based financial planning and then the execution. So execution will be done in this one. So basically, when we are talking about the planning approach, this is the only approach which will help in terms of keeping the clients alive for the long period. So basically, when the client comes to us, they will have to stay with us for a long period. For that, we need to do the goal-based planning or the investment planning. These are the two approaches which helps the client to identify their needs, because the vehicles are the products. Where we wanted to go is something, the destination or the destiny is what actually we will have to arrive. We will have to get the destination where they wanted to reach. Then we will have to select the products which will help them reaching their financial goals. So from that perspective, we have to identify the goals, be it short term or medium term or long term, and then quantify each goal with the inflation adjustment. So all these calculators are, I think, available in the volatile VC dashboard itself. So again, identify, you can use those calculators, identify what is the goals and identify, what is the amount required and future value. And then you have to prioritize. See, basically, there are clients who come up with plenty of goals. They have a lot of, aspirations in their life. But we will have to prioritize, which is important, which is not important, which is negotiable, which is non-negotiable. So we'll have to segregate that, and based on that, actually, you need to take the investment approach. So the investment approach is again, you can go with the strategic asset allocation model or tactical, whatever we discussed in the first P. So you can choose the asset allocation based on that. And then when we are talking about investment planning, there are HNIs and ultra HNI clients, they have already have abundance of wealth which has been already created, which will take care of their requirements. So for them, we have to identify what is the, the right investment vehicles to reach the tenure. See, basically, they may all come to us for a wealth optimization or basically wealth creation or wealth optimization or wealth preservation. So what you need to understand is what is their risk appetite, what they wanted to do. So if they wanted to preserve the wealth, then you will have to approach with the conservative model. If they wanted to, basically optimize their wealth, you can go with the either strategic asset allocation or basically you can go with the tactical asset allocation. So it depends on the requirement of the client. You can go with either of these asset allocation, but always listen to the client, understand, and then either fix them into these two goals: one, goal-based planning or investment planning, so that it will be helpful in terms of meeting the financial, meeting the goals basically. Then so this is the goal planning process. So identify their lifetime goals, be it short-term goals like the vacation or buying a vehicle or buying even today buying a mobile phone or costly this one, anything you can just identify. Then the medium-term goals might be by getting their children education or children marriage or buying a property, buying a car. These are the the medium term goals, and long goals are primarily predominantly into the retirement and legacy creation. These are the long term goals one may have, and then calculate the cost and the future with the future inflation, and then you can also do the mapping of existing investments. They may have their existing investments that might be lying in PF or PPF or maybe in fixed deposit, whatever they have. You can map their existing investments and identify what is the real gap. Then you can, fill this gap by providing them investments on various instruments. And then priorities goal. And this goal-based planning has to be reviewed, based on two conditions. One is actually either the internal changes or the external changes. So the internal changes might be, they might be, willing their children to go for abroad, and then after some point in time, they change their mindset to, be studying in India, or their lifestyle is changing. They have a 2 BHK now, wanted to, buy a big house. So these are the lifestyle changes, or the internal changes that could happen to the, and even the job loss or increase in revenue or job change. These are the changes that may affect the plant. So you will have to do a continuous monitoring of the plant. And second is the market dynamics. Market dynamics is the external change. Maybe the interest rate changes ups and down, or maybe the market might be in the bull market or bear market. So based on that, actually, you have to redesign the plan to ensure that we create a milestone on a yearly basis to ensure that this year what we are going to do. So this is a yearly assessment you will have to do with the client. Then we are talking about the third P, which is professional client handling and understanding client objections. See, basically the psychology behind the objection. So when you are approaching a client, why he is not actually coming to us as a client? One, they have lack of knowledge. So they have lack of knowledge. That is one thing where you need to educate yourself, and then you need to educate your clients in a professional way. And second is they have, see, everybody has an emotional attachment towards the money, but you will have to explain them what is the logic behind the investments, why they should get out of fixed deposits and then have to invest in mutual fund. All these things actually, you have to educate the client, and then you will have to bring in the client. So second is the mindset of a trusted advisor. See, basically, you need to create a trust with your client. First and foremost, you have to always look at from the client's shoes. So what is their requirement? What is the need? And what is in it for you is what actually we call it as Biffy. Okay, don't look at what is in it for me, which is called as BIFIF. So always BIFI works. BIFI in the sense, what is in it for you? You are not here to sell the product. You are a guide where you are going to guide the investors to reach their financial goals rather than you are trying to push some product or sell some product. You are not a sell guide. Sell guides are there in the market. They can just read and then they can Google it and then they can find out which is the best mutual funds or which is the best PMS available in the market. Everything is available online. For that, we don't require. We are there to guide them, being a coach, and then we will have to make them to ensure that they reach their financial goals. So this is something which is very very important. As a as being a financial advisor. So this is actually the key things one has to follow. So definitely you need to meet the client once in 3 months. I would say once in 3 months, or maybe you might be interested in meeting every month if you have very less number of clients. That also is fine. So meeting clients will always help in building the rapport. One. Second is whenever you meet the client, you will always get to have some new investments. The more you meet, the more investments you can get on your portfolio. That's it. Second is I have created some expectation from the clients. Basically, I've set the expectation. Basically, the monthly portfolio statement. Every first working day of the month, the portfolio statement will be delivered to their mailbox. So if it is not coming on the first day, now actually I've been practicing this for the last 9 years, and when even if there are 1 or 2 holidays, first and second is basically, let us say, it's a Saturday and Sunday. Clients are asking me, it is already dated to, we are not getting the portfolio. So we are setting the expectation so that we deliver. So what we are setting the expectation is first working day of the month, the portfolio statement will be delivered to your mailbox. That is a commitment actually we are giving it to the client. And we also do the monthly calls. So every month, whether we are meeting them or not, we will have to call them first week of the month. We will have to call them and update about what has happened to the investments, what has happened to the market last month, and this month what is going to happen. So this is something where the client will always expect. We send a monthly newsletter about the market update on every month 7th. 7th, if it is holiday, then it goes on the next working day. But 7th of every month, they can just mark it for sure. They will get something in their mailbox about the market update. And half-yearly portfolio review. We do the portfolio review and performance review on a half-yearly basis. We look at all the key metrics which will help them in terms of understanding how their portfolio is performing and all those stuff. So this, we are sure that every half-yearly basis we list down the clients, and then some set of clients we divide these clients into January and July, and there are clients who get in the April and October. So we have divided the entire clients into 2 segments, and then we keep doing the review. We keep sending the portfolio review. At the end of the day, if the clients replies, if you have a less number of clients, you can always call them, talk to them, and then you can tell them that you are sent the portfolio review. Doesn't mean that you need to change the portfolio now and then, but you will have to ensure that whatever the portfolio you have selected for them is working for them. That is the only message that we convey. And then the annual goal plan review. Basically, the goal planning has to be reviewed on a annual basis. This is the day actually we engage with the client. This is the way we engage with the client. This is actually a professional client practicing that we always follow to grow our business. Any question here? Any question?
So how do you maintain the client goals and his initial planning that you have done? How do you store that to review it?
So basically, we store all the client plans in a separate folder. For each and every client, we have a folder. So whatever the discussions that we are having, everything will be stored in the folder. So we always do the goal-based planning to an Excel sheet. So that Excel sheet will be converted into a PDF, and then we will present that plan to the client. The same plan will be stored in our system.
Sridhan sir, good evening.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Nice to see you. Sir,
Yeah.
what is the CRM you are using? Excel, you are using only the Excel, or are you using any particular CRM so that automatically it generates, sends WhatsApp, something like that?
The CRM, in the sense, we are using Zoho CRM for client management. Basically, starting from lead management to client, servicing, we use the Zoho CRM. And other than that, we use Excel for doing the financial planning. We have created a separate Excel template. So that template is what we are using for creating the plan, because there is no bigger software available, which will be helping in terms of whatever the goals that we have, that the client has.
How this thing comfortable you are with Zoho, because there are many CRMs in the this thing. What will be your guidance to the fellow MFDs like us to use the importance of CRM? Even though many people are not using CRM at all. That is different. But importance of CRM and how good this Zoho CRM is helping you in a bigger way.
See, basically, any client, whomsoever, we just get as one lead. That lead will be entered into CRM first. That is the first and foremost thing that we do. So from there onwards, whatever the communication that we are doing with the lead, everything will be there in the CRM itself. That will be easy for us to track it. One. Second is, whatever the conversation, say, assuming, today the X guy is maintaining a client and tomorrow Y guy is coming. They're transferring this client to Y. Then he needs to know the history. So the entire history will be stored in the CRM, so that once you see it, you can understand. The client cannot say anything. I have already told this to other guy. So those things, those conflict of interest will be managed with the CRM, because we just take the screenshot and then send it to the client. If all they ask.
Fantastic, 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 sir. Great, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question on this?
Sir, if I may ask, how much would Zoho cost for say a 50 CR kind of a portfolio if it is based on portfolio size?
Oh, no. This Zoho CRM, I'm using it only for lead management. So
is it annual plan based? How does this Zoho work?
It is user based. One user, they charge about 12,000 rupees or something.
Sir,
thank you, sir.
My question is Zoho is connected with your back office software? Is there
No. It is not connected with my back office. So the back office software is actually, I am using Advisor Coach is my back office software. Even they have come out with the feature called Notes. So in the notes, actually, yeah.
So sorry, what was the back office software that you were using?
I'm using Advisor Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So there actually, there is a specific, feature called Notes. In the notes, you can add whatever the discussion that you are having with the client. So we are using, see, there are two perspectives. One is actually whatever the day-to-day conversation that we are having with the client, or starting from the lead to conversion stage. So we use Super CRM. Once they become the client, then we use advisor coach as the portfolio tracking and everything. We use advisor coach.
Sir, one more question.
Sir, are you satisfied with this advisor coach software?
Yeah, we are pretty much satisfied.
Sir, have you integrated this Zoho CRM with WhatsApp API or like any other automation?
No, I have not done very complicated automation and all. We are just using for sending emailers because every day 250 emails can be sent to clients. Any communication or anything that we use Zoho CRM.
Actually, you can do even the WhatsApp synchronizing is also possible, sir. That is very good. It is working very well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Anyway, I will just work on it and then we can implement it.
Great.
Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank
It's all
you.
mutual learning. So, yeah.
Did you mention daily 2-3 emails to clients?
Pardon?
Or like you mentioned, no, daily 2-3 emails.
No, daily 250 mass mailers can be sent to clients. Mass mailers.
And the basic model of Zoho is 400 plus GST only. So people
Basic
can
model
actually
is
start
400.
with that.
Yeah.
So people can start with that also.
Yeah. Great.
Yes. Go ahead. Next step. Yeah.
Then the practicing growth. So the client acquisition strategy is basically, there are two things. One is for the acquisition. We use only referral network and investor awareness. So we do both the referral network and investor awareness program. And also, the branding, yes, of course, for the branding, we use local media presence and social media presence. So these are the two things, which will help in terms of, the making your business grow. So basically, referral network, yes, we always, since we are working on what is in it for you, we always get a lot of references from our clients because, a lot of satisfied customers will give references. We ask for references basically. See, whenever the client reaches a milestone, let us say, whenever client reached, a particular goal or something, whenever we get a good service to the client, immediately we ask for the references. So the references is always working out. And secondly, we also work on referral rewards program. Some of the good clients who give a lot of references, we probably send them some gifts or something that we will be sending them, like small gift, that will actually give them kind of recognizing them, and then which will help in terms of getting more references. So the referral conversion is 100%. So anybody who refers, the client conversion is 100%. There is no doubt about it, and there is no denial in terms of asking references from the clients. Next is the digital and local presence. See, basically, I appear in local magazines. I write a lot of articles in Business Standard, and then the Live Mint, and then the local vernacular magazine, like Beginner. This is a local magazine. See, basically, people who are in Tamil Nadu, basically they wanted to learn their personal finance in their own language. So I prefer to write everything in local language. That is actually bringing in lot of confidence. When the lead comes in, the lead always look at our credentials. Who are we? What we have done. So all these things we will have to put it in our social media. I use LinkedIn for professional connection. I always post whatever the articles and other things that I write in the media. I keep putting those articles in the LinkedIn and Twitter. Maybe Instagram is something where we use for small promotions and other things using digital media. And then the local presence, as I told you, I keep writing a lot of articles. You can also try getting connected with the local media, and then you can probably publish your own article, then your own voice you can create, and then you can put that in the social media. And then these are the techno enablers. Basically, I use Zoho as the CRMs. This is basically from starting from lead to the client conversion. I'm using Zoho CRM. Once actually, once they become the client, I use Advisor Coach for portfolio tracking, transactions, everything. And then Advisor Coach itself, I started using the notes feature, which is basically helping us in terms of keeping the client communication intact. Nowadays, the problem with everybody is actually, a lot of clients are, sending WhatsApp messages. Some of them are sending emails. So there is no track. So what I basically do is whenever we get any kind of interaction with the client, any mails that are coming in, any WhatsApp chats or message that are coming in, I put that in the notes and then I ensure that I dated the note also. It is helping us in terms of reviewing it later when the client asks for any questions. And then for the accounts and other things, GST filing, I use Zoho Books. And then MF research software, yes, of course, I use MF research software for shortlisting the funds. We have our own proprietary model in terms of selecting the funds, and we don't do NFOs, we don't do any funds which are less than 3 years of track record. We don't sell mutual funds, sell equity funds if the clients are planning to invest less than 3 years. So these are the things that we follow to ensure that we grow in our business. So these are the four strategies, basically 4 P's. Basically, one is the portfolio strategies, where core and satellite are strategic, tactical, and the insured asset allocation. Second is the planning approach. We do the goal-based planning or the investment planning, and then we also handle professionally the clients, and then we do a lot of the client interaction and then referral program, and then we also do a lot of IAPs to increase our the lead generation that will get into our so if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. This is the end of the presentation. If you have any question, I am ready to answer.
Sarji, can you elaborate more about gifting for references?
See, basically, gifting for referrals is basically, what I do is, they give any references, which are basically a big client. Then I'll probably send some. There are a lot of personalized gifts that are available. Even in the flask, actually, you can put your logo and then you can write the client's name, and then you can send it to them. These are all small. See, if you go to any gift shops, a lot of gift ideas they used to give, but it should be more personalized. See, when you are gifting to client, don't send common items. You personalize it and then send it to them, so that they don't have choice than keeping it for themselves. Even I do send diaries on a yearly basis. Every year we print diaries. Any clients who have invested, above a threshold limit, I used to print their name in the diary and send it. So, that actually has got a lot of impact from our clients. Clients are asking, why you are giving diary only to me? You have to give diary to my wife also. So then I will print diary for, I will just cross-check with clients who are all needed diaries for their wife. That was actually, the exercise that we have done for the last, 8 years. Starting from 2017 onwards, we started printing diaries on a New Year basis, and then we send it to them. They are so happy about, even if one of the client, not meeting the criteria, they will just call me and say, no, this year you did not send me diary. Then I will separately send the diary to them. That's how it is happening.
Good diary works at the beginning of the year, so that the whole year is full of business. So phenomenal. Thank you so much, Sridharan sir. I think this is a good session. I think there is a lot of clarity now as far as how we can do asset allocation. So we are actually running this TAT certification today for last 3 days, and today is the last day again. So there also we are discussing asset allocation and asset allocation. So all these things we are doing, we are. So we have a game also along with this game. I think if you share with this all this content, this really helps. So good. Looking forward, friends. If any questions, you can post it in the group also, and remain connected. I am sure this session have helped you. Next session, we will be coming up with another interesting session with one of our esteemed volatility coach, so that no, you all can get benefit out of it and start using it. So with this, thank you so much. Looking forward to see you next Thursday again. All right. And in the meantime, on September, we have our annual conference, which is happening at Bangalore this year. So preparations are going on. Looking forward to have you all there. Ramesh sir, Sridharanji, all of them will be there, and many more people in this group. Jairaj ji is from Bangalore only, so we are having our session in Bangalore. So please do register. We have around 74-75 seats left now, and looking forward to see you all there. Chetan Bhagat is one of the speaker who is going to come along with us.
Very nice.
Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Yes, sir. Sir, again, thank you for the nice, wonderful
Thank
session.
you.
I really
Thank you.
enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, sir.